Ngày nay dương cùi lên DLC thay mấy bao God of War Ragnarok nhưng mà rầm băng đã cái tranh DLC game này tầm khánh đại lên free được ở trong vậy ra nhóm tâm là chuyện này bé buôn đạp mong cùi lên DLC nâng hồi ní mẹn thơ lùm lùm đạo để bán này nè không ní miên xa dưỡng thay mấy vậy trong đó DLC ní cứ chỉ xa dưỡng trong một chap bao Ragnarok không DLC ní kia bà hàng bi bọc vọt bọc kê thô hay chỉ môi đang xa dưỡng mà nó chết tà na bao mì mìa hồi video này cứ cùi lên bị đám đó chop mà không nhưng đã cho nó tầm khánh chia mình sẽ xa dưỡng nó không nâng chẳng cứ dưỡng từ ngọt cái này rồi ta lấy cái dưỡng phơi đầm nào từ căn và há là cho tao đảo lốt rồi ta dưỡng pha cô một căn than su ngọt cái này dưỡng mình cái lấy sẽ cùng rất bá và té bữa giờ dưỡng đạp bạ nhưng phốt ở nó dưỡng gặp ban rùng quán căn này lo nhưng ghê này chẳng dưỡng gamer cái lỗ diễn lăng thoát cái dưỡng đạp bạ game phốt áo cọp.
You are certain you remember nothing of this place?
Oh, nothing that would help us. Tell me, brother, why exactly are we doing this?
I do not know.
Oh, that's comforting.
Và hà lá cứ dự than xua nó không ngược trên Viking.
Odin always kept me in the dark about this place, which is why I urged you to seek Freya's guidance repeatedly.
She does not seem eager to speak with me.
Well, quite the opposite, brother. But you tell yourself whatever you need to.
Hay nẹ trong băng đầy ngọp nơi không sòng kiếm cứ bán tới và hà là nè. Hay không bà Hà La nó cứ cái chụp liếng Phật sĩ chỉ riêng là hột.
Black sand.
Exactly as described in the invitation. We finally bloody made it.
Tại sao ra game thưa DLC đại lên free hết cất lối này bởi có môn xanh cất lối này DLC bên đây ở nào mà phải ở đây
Something is happening.
Back to basics then.
khướng này lính nó còn luôn.
Well, that felt unsettling, like we plunged into a dream.
Để click control khan lên vô rồi. Thôi mua là hết mà mua này mà đầu vào là
Doesn't seem anyone's here to welcome us.
Locked.
I don't suppose you'll take that as our cue to turn around and leave?
Reatha Sialfua, Sinum Hautum.
To be one's own master.
Master thyself.
A more poetic way of putting it, but yes.
Làm chào mấy này trên mụn bu đây.
Something is wrong. I feel weaker.
Valhalla may not appreciate our breaking in.
Bãi chơi cái click control rồi.
My shield.
U mè. Ê, cái đất biết quay bắt xíu nè.
Oh, that's a rough one.
Đâm mày. Chà lê. Chà lê. Đồ
What sort of foes I expected to encounter here?
Ok. Ủa lùm bén. Chà lê.
Seems it's the way of this place to offer you a choice.
ចឹងអាម៉ូតថ្មីហ្នឹងគេហៅហ្គេមរបៀប roguelike យើងលេងគឺយើងគេឲ្យជំរឿសយើងហើយយើងរើសយកជំរឿសណាមួយដែលយើងចង់បានហើយបន្ទាប់មកយើងលេងធ្វើម៉េចឆ្លងវគ្គឲ្យកាន់តែច្រើនហើយយើងដឹងតែងាប់ហើយយើងងាប់យើង reset មកវិញយើងរើសជំរឿសមិនសារទៀតយើងទៅទៀតឆេមើល Kratos ធ្វើមុខមិនចឹង Kratos ឈឺពោះរីអាចហើយបន្ទាប់មកយើងវាយឈឺនិយាយថាឈាមមានមួយតំណក់ហ្នឹង
Oh dear. What happens now?
មកវាយបាត់អង្គើហ្នឹង
We're back outside.
Yeah.
You marched into Valhalla without even talking to us first?
Nice to see you too, milady.
It was a personal matter, and I would not take you from your duties.
You breached Valhalla. Consider it worth my time. This entrance is secret. Who told you of this place?
Nailed to our door 3 days ago.
Kratos of Sparta, you are hereby invited to a challenge. Face the past, face the future. Master Valhalla, master thyself. And then directions here, no signature.
Who else knows of this entrance?
Odin and us. It's likely a trap.
You're thinking of going back in.
Would you join me?
Oh, don't let me intrude on your personal matter. Besides, I can't. Unlike the two of you, I've never died.
What happens if I return inside?
Well, that depends on you. Valhalla draws from the memories of those who enter. In there, you're an open book. Sure, you want to go back in?
How did you even get past the gate?
I forced it open.
With his bare hands.
He forced it open.
There's an easier way if you insist on going back in. Come.
Sigrun, maybe later we could continue with that one conversation, eh?
For once, Mimir, I think you've said enough.
Aye. Right then.
And the other matter we discussed? You're still thinking, I take it?
I am.
Is that what this is? Guess I'll let you think, then.
Nhóm play tha game ហ្នឹង graphics ស្អាតដែរ
All right, gentlemen. Let's send you in properly prepared this time.
នេះ
First,
ស្អីគេ
Valhalla requires you to perform the ritual of selection. General, the gate will only accept you if you complete the ritual of selection.
អូខេយើងត្រូវជ្រើសរើសជំរើសរបស់យើងមានអីគេខែលមួយដៃនេះស្អីគេខ្ញុំយកខែលកាត់តមកហ្នឹង
Good. Now, let my sister speak to you of Valhalla's rules and its values.
អូខេ
What do you know of this place?
The challenge of Valhalla is not merely about overcoming obstacles. It's about the way you overcome them, how you demonstrate mastery of your own powers. We can guide you down a path, but Valhalla will be the judge of your progress. Return to me when you've met a goal, and we will observe the effects.
What have you to say?
Valhalla seeks to foster wholeness and balance within those who enter. To fully master yourself, you can't rely on only your most familiar tactics.
I use the tactics appropriate to the situation.
Of course, but varying your approach will demonstrate to Valhalla the full mastery of your abilities, and Valhalla will reward such demonstrations.
កន្លែង
Be
នេះគេ
sure to
បរៀន
come
យើង
back
លេង
and see me as you progress.
វាដូចអ្នកធ្វើ game ប្រាប់យើងហ្មងឲ្យលេងឲ្យត្រូវគ្រូក្បាច់ថ្មី
And we can begin the
I am
ceremony.
ready.
Air, Gunnar, with me.
thời tầm mình cũng nó chnay bật á.
Now you can enter Valhalla by this gate, without suffering the penalty of breaching.
Thank you, Sigmund.
Volgran.
Any cursed feelings this time?
No.
Lên đây.
As well.
Thank you, shield maidens.
Cho
Right, let's try this whole thing again.
con ma. Thôi lùng bấy chef lơn cam rồi đấy. Mới lại chết được. Ok.
New attempt, new choices to make.
Hơi cái lời.
Fresh start.
Bọn ấy con trai gật chết nè. Không phải nó sẽ bại lên mấy nè ghép nó nghe.
Mia, what is the odds between you and Sigrun?
Pin ăn lạnh cái này đó.
You anger her.
I wouldn't say she's angry with me. Irritated, perhaps. Disappointed, certainly. But you needn't worry yourself, brother. I won't let it distract from whatever it is we're doing here.
Mình mê gì môi nó Vogri Queen nó ngày sẽ lạnh cái này đó. Nhưng play xa dưỡng vào đây. Vậy thì nhóm đấng nếu không mod thầm ấy nó cứ miên xa dưỡng thầm ấy. Mình thầm ra ban lên game thầm ấy.
So, this is no piece of Asgard at all. Just something spun from your memory of it. Fascinating. At least this part seems peaceful. You should have a look around.
Ở dương ban lối dương vô lối tình tinh upgrade.
I must admit, Freya's idea does make quite a bit of sense to me. What better god of war could the realms ask for than the general who won Ragnarok, and won it trying to save lives? With you on board, our whole peacekeeping council could really do some good.
This position, this title, I have held it before. I know what happened. She knows what happened.
Of course we do. But why should who you used to be matter more than who you are now? Can't you see how far you've come?
However far I have come, I have done it running from that life, that title, that throne.
Aye.
Chẳng cái này ní cứ cao trên bị cá. Mà giờ máy bọc cái thôi nhỉ. Cao trên bị cá trong chăm bọc cái thôi. Biết cái nè. Lọc on lấy nha. Mẹ mà đáy biên ngộm.
Back to the gate then.
Ta chẳng mê đấy để dương được tôi mang cứ váy bỏ bánh môn kì.
If Valhalla thinks that'll keep you down, think again, aye?
Hướng tâm xa đẹp.
To adapt is to lean into the alchemy of turning adversity into advantage.
Ok, game biển dương đi này. Này gì cái. Chơi mình lấy vô hở có được. Anh ấy còn là hở ban được ai đấy mới ban pung mau đấy còn hở vô lối. Mờ hỏi này ADT pra po pẹt ngó hả? Tí cái này.
These could really help you in there.
Thôi sự nhé, Omega được. Ok. Lôi đi dương vô ban nó cứ dương vô mà update chiêm dương nè. Bị cha lopo tha đầm bay vô trên sật trời.
Your persistence is inspiring, General. I know you won't stop.
Cứ dương trời vô trên luôn này.
Where is Freya?
Away for the moment. As you know, she's attending to many things presently. Establishing a new governing body for the realms is no simple task. There are leaders to find and recruit, negotiations for sharing power. I'm sure she'd prefer to be here, but you'll have to make do with the three of us for now.
I'm sure we're in excellent hands.
Mình coi lên đặt lại móng store đây không vậy. Ok, bye bye.
I do agree with you about Freya's council. It is a noble idea. It should succeed on her merits.
How's that, brother?
Freya is known to the realms and native to them, respected by all. an experienced leader.
Experienced enough to know that a shared power is best for the people.
That she would share power proves she is worthy to wield it.
Even so, why make her wield it alone? Without Odin, the realms have a chance to forge a new peace. When conflicts do arise and can't be talked through, a god of war ensures those conflicts have rules and enforces them. They need might and
Come here,
judgment.
let us talk later.
Chơi ở đâu vậy?
Time to push along. Understood. Fire behind you!
Nã cái banh này. Anh vài một đường. Quả bánh sư chơi mà. Chơi cho lắm control chết ô kích lỗ rồi. Chọp đay lên ghém mũi tiền rồi. Tầm lên nhà ghém Pinocchio nữa rồi. Cô đáy đây ca lên ghém nó cứ thế mấy bay của mày xiêm. Mày webcam so school.
How you remember Jotunheim, eh?
Freya knows I would not refuse to aid her when in need. I have done, will do my part to fight for peace, regardless of title, regardless of whether I sit in authority.
You know as well as I do there's power in words. Oaths. The people need to know you're committed to them and to yourself. That you'll be there for them, and I know that you will. I understand you've got misgivings, man, but you've put your past behind you. We all see it.
You do not know everything that I am.
That you were. You've told me of your past, and yes, much of it was horrible. But you've proven over and over again that you're not that man anymore.
Thật chó mày kém đau vậy thô. Thôi chăng bên đây. À đã Sky bao rồi. Up Sky đã ơi.
And this must be how you remember Svartalfheim. If there's an upside to this Valhalla madness, at least it's good to see you in action again. You're already more your cheery self than I've seen in moons. Without Atreus or a fight in front of you, I wonder after your well-being.
Combat can be gratifying.
Tăn trôi. Tăn trôi. Tăn trôi. Quẹt ngộp. Mày tăn này. Mày tăn này. Có phải tao ngộp. Tăn. Tìm phốt play nó bá rồi. Trời.
What is this?
Cái không có robot chào.
You recognize your old seat, don't you? Kratos.
Sao lấy nè cái?
I have not forgotten the debt I owe you.
Do you really think he understands the stakes? This still feels reckless.
Here they are now.
That's odd. We're back outside, but we didn't... you know.
Sometimes you reach as far as you're ready to go. Valhalla's decision, or yours? Does this mean you're done in there?
No. I will discover who invited me. I believe I am close.
You're sure it's worth dying for?
Oh, I think we're fairly accustomed to dying at this point.
Don't be glib, Mimir. Valhalla restores you after honorable death in combat, but beyond that, it makes its own rules. And if you don't play by them... Kratos, the threat of death in there is real.
That is good to know.
If by good, you mean wildly disconcerting.
I do wish you luck. Truly.
Chụp dần lại mấy ca đấy kia. Kratos trong plick Attica.
Adaptability gives us a means
ខ្ញុំចេះលេងហើយមិនប្រាប់ខ្ញុំទេខ្ញុំដឹងថាខ្ញុំត្រូវសម្របខ្លួនតាមវគ្គវាហើយយើងអាប់ដេតទូអង្គយើងតោះយើងទៅទៀត
Look, brother, the fog's lifted. Valhalla's becoming more open to you, perhaps. So much to see in the distance there. You can see how all the little realm spaces connect to the higher plane. And those statues are certainly imposing.
I recognize them. They are judges of the underworld from my homeland.
Ah, well, you sound thrilled to see them again.
Souls they deemed righteous were granted entrance to the Elysium fields. Those deemed wicked were cast into Tartarus.
Ah, yes. Where the souls of the damned were tortured. Why has your mind manifested them here, I wonder?
Cho cô một căn cảm thi là cái tay tất cả. Là bây giờ lên cho bác play dương sờn được rồi. Xì phòi. Cái gì kìa? Cái phúc chơi đó kìa.
Ah, Midgard in memoriam. Ah, I'm starting to see there's no fixed order to the realms we'll visit here.
Disappears out of ơi.
Whose voice was that we heard when Valhalla sent us back from the throne?
You heard it also.
Aye. Said he owes you a debt, was it? Someone who might lend us a hand, perhaps?
Unlikely. He was a god of Greece, and we did not part on good terms.
God of
And
Greece.
by
Mới
that
nè.
you mean... Yes, I see. No shortage of bitter old ghosts in these parts. These parts being your memory, of course.
Không ai chạy climb game con đồng nghề mà hả? Lấy là pan spell vẫn xin hay. Cười nhé. Cái che lên nhé.
Brother, that throne we saw, did you recognize it? Was it familiar?
It was mine. The throne I took from Ares.
Không có đâu về bà
It
Pì.
was a throne of monsters.
Ah, the anxiety of power made manifest. A symbol you're no doubt meant to consider.
It is a symbol I reject.
That might not quite close the book on matters. A symbol can't be slain, destroyed, or ignored. The next measure is often to reclaim it, redefine it. Remind us it's not the throne, but the god who sits in it.
Trời mà. Ôi má.
All right, I think we're getting the hang of this place, eh?
In the face of change, those who adapt triumph.
Ok.
The rigid falter.
Mập hẹp nhưng mà.
versus Valhalla. One for the ages.
Thảo mới dương
Better
update.
yourself.
Sri bỏ game nhưng bây giờ bài đầu ta. Tao lấy dương tư mà sửa thế ta.
You're making your way deeper into Valhalla. Keep at it. Remember, Kratos, the deeper into Valhalla you venture, the greater the danger. And I don't just mean physically.
I understand.
Yes, we'll try not to go mad.
Tao lấy dương tư mà game thế ta.
Why don't we talk about that image of you in the shrine we keep seeing? If Valhalla keeps pulling it out of your head, it must have some significance to you. Could it be that the idea of being loved and respected is a fair mite better than the alternative? Hear me out. And it's not as though I'm the smartest man alive or anything. But don't you think joining Freya's council could put you in a position to walk that path? To earn that path?
That would be a poor reason to accept. Ambition is poison.
Trời, cái kia quay mê mà các bạn máu nha.
Two fights in a row now. Valhalla's demands are escalating.
Ôi, quả ma to thật.
Well, that was demanding. Carry on. I must admit, Sigrun, Valhalla isn't exactly what I imagined.
You're experiencing only a very small part of it. One that's independent and unconnected from the rest of Valhalla. Elsewhere, there are larger neighborhoods where the dead reside. Socializing, playing games, drinking, fighting. But one must earn the right to join their fallen comrades. New arrivals run a gauntlet. A personalized, self-contained version of what you're doing. It's meant to help the dead process the lives they lived. Those who are worthy, who have found some measure of closure, are allowed to move forward. Those who are unable to resolve their lives are forever trapped in their personal Valhalla. Some just prefer to keep fighting here.
នៅក្នុងពិភពនេះដើម្បីបានតែកន្លែងវល់ហាឡាផឹកស៊ីសបាយហ្នឹងគឺយើងត្រូវឆ្លងកាត់ទ្វារនេះសិនដើម្បីរំលឹកអតីតកាលរំលឹកពីប្រវត្តិជីវិតរបស់យើងហើយបន្ទាប់មកយើងទៅមួយហ្គេមទៀត
Do you yet wish to speak about Sigrun? She was eager to receive you mere days ago. What has changed?
Oh, don't pretend to be interested in my romantic life, brother.
I am interested.
Romantic
and
life.
You are evading the question. What happened?
Well, after you dropped me off at a longhouse the other night, Sigrun made a cloudberry and hazelnut pudding. Of course, I don't eat anymore, so slightly awkward, but a lovely thought.
And
Pretty much it, really.
there is more to this.
Incoming!
ពួកនេះខ្លាំងណាស់អូយពួកនេះខ្លាំងណាស់អញមើលយល់ទេពួកអាសកានឹងញ៉ៃញ៉ៃហ៎បែរចុយមកបុកស្ត្រេងកប់មក
Don't wait. And most importantly, don't forget to adapt.
ថាខ្ញុំដឹងហើយ
Sigrun, how fare you and your sisters?
With just the three of us to attend to the fallen now, we're short-handed. But we've begun recruiting new shield maidens.
Well, I happen to know of one lass who'd jump at the chance to join your ranks.
You mean Thrud? Sif and Thor's daughter? Believe me, I know. She sought us out before the call even left our lips.
She fights well and can be trusted.
A recommendation from you, General. With that, how could we ignore her? Not that she'd let us.
មកក្នុងអាវុធទាំងអស់មានតែបថៅខ្ញុំលេងស្ទាត់ជាងគេបាទលំពេនោះចាប់មកអាលំពេអត់ចេះលេងមក
What else happened that night between you and Sigrun?
Well, we stayed up much too late. I told her stories, she told me secrets. She put spirits to my lips, even though I can't get drunk. Then she invited me to watch her fall asleep.
And the next morning?
The next morning, we took a boat along the Lake of Nine. It was divine, brother. The lake was sun-dappled, the air was crisp and perfect. You could smell the thaw.
When did you misspeak?
You know me too well, brother. We were on the lake when I put my metaphorical foot in it.
អាភ្នំនៅលើហ្នឹងភ្នំ Olympus ហ្នឹងអញរត់ហើយម៉ែអតិទេពនៃសង្គ្រាមគេដេញវាយទីឆ្កែ
Where? Tell me. What happened between you and Sigrun on the lake?
Well, she was rowing past where you found her family treasury.
Where we learned she cursed her brother over forbidden love.
That's right. And as we rowed by, I remember feeling grateful that the place was now deep underwater where she couldn't see it. And at that moment, she turned to me and she said, I think, Mimir, I might be smitten with you. I think maybe I want to kiss you. Indeed, brother. I mean, there's always been more to us than there's been the opportunity to explore. So much unspoken, beneath the surface. Not to name it so boldly, it took me a bit off guard.
ស្លាយមកថាគេទៅលេងអញ្ចឹងមកថាចង់លេងអញ្ចឹងលេងថាចង់លេងអញ្ចឹងទេហូ
But Sigrun, I am still waiting for the part where you spoke.
In my defense, I only told her the truth as it struck me in the moment. I told her my feelings for her were deep as Rand's Hall and had been for as long as I'd known her. But just then a kind of revelation came over me. Sudden cold clarity that it was vanity to imagine that I, as I am, could be enough for her as she is. So I had myself tell her that I didn't think I could give her what she needed.
Now, I am mad at you.
Pile on, brother. I deserve it.
Oh my! Tụi bay dương lên tránh của dương nơi thật lăng dương mùn này.
Sigrun dear, as Kratos and I have been off the beaten path, so to speak, I'm curious as to the state of the realms.
Well, since my sisters and I returned to our old Valkyrie duties, the souls of the damned no longer find the gates of Helheim closed to them. So...
No more Hellwalkers spilling into the other realms? Grand!
I can't say no Hellwalkers are left in the realms, but there are fewer. Rasvelger seemed pleased. Or at least I think that's what her expression meant.
Tao lấy tới một game thế ta.
So, you told Sigrun you could not give her what she needed. You spoke out of cowardice.
Aye, obviously. But as prospects for terror go, can you imagine knowing all along you're not enough for someone, and then living out their slow realization of that truth? I admit it chilled me to the bone.
You presume to know how she will feel in the future. Why discredit her wishes and yours in the present?
I just can't pretend not to know better. She's romanticized the idea of us. Certainly I've done the same. But is that anything to build a future on? I mean, look at me, brother. Be practical.
If anyone else disparaged you as you disparaged yourself, I would wish to strike them with an axe.
Thế mình click mấy này.
Now, back to Sigrun and your low opinion of yourself.
Look, brother. I don't apologize for wanting her as someone who can be everything to her. She deserves the best.
Then why should she not deserve the smartest man alive?
Sometimes I think you've come too far, brother.
Did I overstep?
No, Kratos. I appreciate your point. And to be fair, if I was so right, then why am I so angry at myself?
Nó lừa cá hả mày cho nó đấy vậy. Mày cho nó đấy, nó lừa đó. Ủa, mày thao tiếp đây đỏ khơi.
Valhalla chose an enemy to face me. I sense there are more challengers like it to find. That is how we earn our way forward.
Tìm pot. Tài ơi. Chơi. Mẹ thử cắt to về đó anh. Cái gì nào.
At least you fell to one of the more challenging opponents. No shame there.
Tụi bay na ở đây ngồi ra mê mình ngồi ra cồn trai. Vậy luôn chất lượng này mua box tray cọp mà ca ra game này. Box tray này mua đằng chiêm dưới. Tụ on những khăn thôi. Thì tất game nó si point mà.
I wasn't born with the privilege of some of my sisters in arms. I wasn't bred for greatness. I was just the daughter of some poor innkeeper. Matter of fact, I wasn't even his. He just raised me after somebody left me there. I didn't have much going for me, but I had one thing. I wasn't afraid of anyone. If somebody was asking for a punch in the face, I never thought twice. Brought a heap of trouble on myself that way, it's true. But I sure learned how to fight. Enough for now. I'll pick that up later.
Slide nào ta không game nữa giờ miễn tụ on ấy miên sạch dưỡng luôn. Ao giờ mà coi đạp ấy.
Milady, how is Alfheim these days? Does the peace hold?
It's tenuous, but holding. Endless war tends to breed quite a bit of mistrust. Thankfully, the elves, Bela and Bigvir, are in positions of influence due to their association with Freyr and involvement in Ragnarok. It's the best chance at lasting peace the realm has ever had.
What about the findings in the consul's journal? Have they shared it with the rest of the elves?
Not yet, but give them time.
Hơi dưỡng đăng pi stan được nga pi phốp năng của to pi trong phải cho Ragnarok. Pi phốp năng về mà chứ mình sang tập tiếp mà chứ mình. Anh em mà ngoan một con trai rồi này. Bà này đi đấy.
Air.
Please accept this. Mastery comes when passion and purpose are in harmony. No?
Bán
I'd
lối
like
được
to
có.
tell you a story that I think will help you along your path.
Ok, mình hướng vậy sẽ đạp.
Go ahead.
Early in my life, before I was a Valkyrie, I was a healer in a small village. My father trained me in the use of herbs and natural remedies. To him, coming from a long line of herbal healers, that was the only true medicine. But visiting the city, I saw healers who used magic. Only magic, to treat their patients. I'd seen it work. And work wonders. I tried to tell my father, but he said mage healing was against his philosophy, a dangerous shortcut that violated tradition. Being a good daughter, I respected his convictions. But that all changed when he took ill. That's a good place to stop for now. When you're further along on your journey, I'll share the next part of my story.
Dương lên ghép tới can lịch sử, dương bán xa dưỡng can lịch sử.
Valhalla.
To xa dưỡng đi.
Gunnar.
You have earned this. Each accomplishment is a stepping stone to further greatness. Back to my story.
I am listening.
So, there I was, little Miss Brawl Magnet. If I wasn't starting the fight, I was the first one charging in to join it. Maybe it's something in the Asgard water, but seemed like there was always a fight to be had. I guess I needed the rush, something to keep me sharp, feeling alive. I was driven without fear or frankly much sense to hold me back. Got myself a bit of a reputation, and that ended up being a problem. This notorious bully I'd humiliated held on to a grudge and tried to track me down. Found out way too easily who I was and where I lived. Set out to teach me a lesson. We'll pick it up there when you progress further.
Bốc được phân này cọp mà. Mọi quay sư vậy. Thôi đi cái hang tôi hoàng.
Sigrid, been wondering. Are the remaining Vanir and AC are playing nice in Vanaheim?
The Asgardian relocation hasn't exactly been smooth sailing. But Hildisvini and Lady Sif are keeping the ship headed in the right direction. The people seem to understand compromise is their best path to prosperity, at least.
Truth be told, I was hoping the old bore would have to call on me to smooth things over. But it's good to hear he and Sif have it under control.
Freya hopes they'll join the council once the peace settles.
Tao lấy cái tới mà game tiếp à. Lo mơ với khai. Sao ban phạt hai tay cái đó này. Hành lý được chắc à. Bye. Quay lên chia mày nè lại khlang này tôi oan. Bye chơi nè.
Sigrid love, what's the latest on Midgard?
Life returns at last. After the Hellwalker desolation was followed by Fimbulwinter, I wondered if people would ever come out of hiding, or if there were any left to. But flowers bloom, the sun shines, and it's safe to travel the roads and rivers again. No one even seems to mind the giant serpent sunning himself across the mountaintops.
Glad to hear it. Jormungandr's a big softy when you get to know him.
And now that things aren't quite so desperate, raider attacks have declined. It's progress.
À po gì nó bên nên. Bên nơi lượp nôm nâng tải vậy.
Shield Maiden.
Use this. A mind that can adapt thrives amid chaos, finding order within the storm. I'll tell you more of my story now, if you care to hear it.
Ok, vậy bây giờ.
You may speak.
If you remember, my father had fallen ill. It was bad. An illness unknown to us. I offered to fetch the mage healer from the city, but my father refused. He insisted herbs were the only way to help him. You can guess what happened next. He was gone before the spring. I was devastated. In time, I grew to hate my father's philosophy and dedicated myself to healing through magic. It was a blind rejection of an entire field, because I believed it failed my father, because I blamed his death on his faith. The truth is, I traded one limiting perspective for another, but I wasn't ready to see that yet. That's a good place to stop for now.
Ready for more story?
Go on.
So, the bully with a grudge. He comes to the inn in the dead of night, chucks a bottle of fire through the window, sets the whole place ablaze. The coward thought I was inside in bed, but luckily I was just getting home. I saw the flames shoot up and surround where my father was sleeping. Well, this wasn't gonna be the day I started hesitating. I charged into the fire and dragged him out. Not unscathed exactly, either of us, but alive. And if I was too angry and fearless for my own good before, now, well, I charged right into that bastard's lair, me against his whole gang. Honestly, I had no business coming out of that alive. As it turned out, I came out of there with a job. But we'll get to that next time.
What is the state of Svartalfheim?
It's been tough. The dwarves had been under Odin's thumb for so long. Now they're having to completely reshape their economy to provide for themselves again. Many are looking to Durlin and other outcast members of the old resistance for guidance. But thus far, he's refusing the call. The wounds are deep and will take time to heal. Once they do, Freya thinks Durlin would be a welcome addition to the council.
Tao lấy cái tới mà game đi ta. Trời! Mày khai đi hỗn chọc đó. Easy mo đấy đã khai đấy. Hỗn chọc đó. Trời. Gì kế? Ano ba ito drop na clear na ui? Quá mà đấy. Bye bye. Cắt vô. Sao chứ mà tao đó? Đi ra.
Congratulations, old friend. You really are going places in Valhalla.
Where's Mimir?
Is that really all you have to say to me?
À bán chứ mua save like đó vậy.
After all this
Blue.
time, can't muster up so much as hello for one of your most
Helios. À, nó
auspicious
cười nha.
victims?
Hello, Helios. Where is Mimir?
How should I know? Why don't we go look for him?
Trời. Helio đang dừng lên cái nó nếu cái nó không có đâu với bấy chập độ bà vậy đâu mà. Thôi vô có ba thư blue vô thư pal. Và có một căn đi for làm.
So, what's new with you, Kratos? Murdered any good pantheons lately? Devastated any populations with the cataclysmic consequences of your actions? Turned on any once trusted allies? You simply must bring me up to speed on your latest saga of blood-soaked vengeance.
I am that no longer.
You don't mean to say you've gone soft? Never believe it. Once a Spartan, always a Spartan. No, there's no fooling me, Kratos. You know what they say? You can't hide in the shadows from a sun god. At least, that's what they should say.
Vô nè phải cho rồi lấy cha mà quên mẹ nè.
Say, the decor is looking a little more familiar, isn't it? A mighty chain. Auspicious sign. You've always had such luck with chains. This is all gonna work out just great for you. I can feel it. Oh, there it is. Home sweet home.
Ôi mà thâu à. Đồ này đồ phốp à. Trời.
Now this room must really take you back. Wasn't this the Chamber of Sacrifice? Where you let an Athenian soldier burn to a crisp, just so you could get past the room? Oh, those madcap early days. How you must miss them. What are you doing, Kratos? You mean to sacrifice me? Again?
Ôi. Axiom. Tất cả kháng. Ôi. Mạnh quá quá. Ủa nó khăng rồi.
Oh, good. You're making eye contact as you push me towards my demise. What a special little personal touch. Really lets me know where I stand. Especially after such a long and agonized deliberation over what to do. Oh, how reluctant you'll tell people you were to sacrifice me to the flame.
Ủa này cái chia hẳn tay kháng này. Ăn ngon.
I hate to disappoint you, you blithering idiot. But you do remember I'm a sun god, right? You think I'm afraid of a little fire? Don't threaten me with a good time, Kratos. Maybe I'll be infused with power and achieve my final form. Maybe I'll explode and take you with me. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see.
Cái lấy này không vẽ môi được cả mấy lệnh bá rồi. Tôi sẽ kia. Đã. Đã bao dù con gì? Hơi chặt lên nữa, chặt lên. Có đâu bao gì chả mất được. Mai DLC đại lên free à.
You know, I could give you a hint, but I just feel like you wouldn't appreciate it. Time for another push. Let's go! Okay, seriously, Kratos, get me out of this cage. It's not funny anymore. I can't believe you mean to roast me on a whim on a presumption that it's what Valhalla wants from you. Have you ever considered that maybe your instincts are just random thoughts that pop into your head, no more likely to be true than the next? Maybe consider that! Quickly! You're really just going to incinerate me and see what happens? I swear you haven't changed one solitary...
Brother? What am I doing in here?
Lear,
What's that?
No. No!
Get me out of here! Brother! What is this? Help me!
I'm trying!
Brother! Please! Please!
Do not panic. We will simply return to the gate.
I don't think so! I think you've broken how Valhalla works! Oh! I think this is it, brother!
Let's get you out of here!
Sigrun! Love, you're burning!
I'm not supposed to be here! Hokari Naito!
Thôi bi ngọt mền tên.
Mimir!
Oh no! You poor thing, look at you!
Cái lấy đứa Mikasa mỗi Eren nè.
Oh, heal, dummy. You and Kratos would not. But you're safe now.
Sigrun, I'm sorry. I've been so foolish,
Later, love. I need a moment.
We are forever in your debt.
As I will be forever in yours.
My lady!
Stop. You've seen me worse.
I'm not sure about that, boss.
It's nothing air can't heal.
This could take some time.
Go on, Kratos. Get back in there. And do what you need to do. Shh.
Cái lấy này dương miền vò cái một chia ba là bố oi mình giấy sạch dương tệ đâu mũi parcel là mấy chia ba à tao mới dương tới mà game thiệt.
Well, that was altogether bloody terrifying. One moment I'm in a forest, the next I'm in a cage full of fire.
You changed into Helios and back again. It was unpredictable.
I'll say. I'm truly not sure if we've gone too far, or if we've come too far to stop.
We are not stopping. I must face this.
I know, brother.
Thầy dương miền chỉ vật pi nữa không đấy cái ba cái là bao dương tên sờn thế này mà cái nào cóp rồi đi ghép easy mau đấy nè chơi miền hợp pi bao ăn được pi chọc bà ra ơi ghép easy bà ra chơi mà đó nè Vanaheim.
Memory of Vanaheim now. Brother, I beg you not to remember the exploding plants.
What did you say about a forest? You remember being elsewhere when Helios took your place.
Aye. Yes, I didn't mention that while we were plummeting, but yes, I was in a forest, much like that of my youth. Back on my old body, too. It was a bit dreamlike, to be honest.
Do you wish to return there?
I can't say I don't. I'm concerned, but I'm more than curious. Guess my memory's a fair game in here as well. Don't suppose they'll just stick to the pleasant ones, will they?
Unlikely.
Oh, we're freezing
À,
up! Well, that's a neat trick. Behind you! Look out!
chứ đá đó bao ban du mày
power,
Ui,
Valhalla's
đá đâu lối mẹ nè.
That sword isn't something full of terrible memories, I hope.
What do you think?
ไปจอยมาง้อป๊อปป่วนนี่กันนะ
Kratos, I've been waiting to have a word with you.
Where's Secret?
She is resting, healing. What she did for you two in there, that should not have happened. It's bad enough you're risking your own lives, but it isn't just you paying the price. This is exactly what I was worried about.
Freya, what do you wish? That I quit? Sigrun believed I should see this through. That Valhalla can help.
Yes, she does. I just want you to be careful. I need her. And I need you too. No more bending the rules in there. All right?
All right.
I can't help reflecting that you only broke Valhalla's rules to save me. I wouldn't have let you if I'd known Sigrun would suffer for it.
Sigrun has no such regret.
Tới mà game đấy ta.
Harriet's attack!
Trời gì kia. Anh ấy gì kia. Nên khả năng game mode này. Mấy. Làm món này. Món này. Anh ấy mấy. À, ừ. Mấy lần ai không qua đây.
I see now. We must keep the primordial realms up here on the top shelf.
Hello, me again.
If I must carry you, make yourself useful. Say what you see in battle.
Aye, aye, asshole.
Chụp dần là gì kìa? Váy gồm nạt máu.
Acquaintances are looking to reconnect.
Chết ọc máu không ơi.
About Valhalla's target, in case you didn't notice in your killing spree. I do
Got
believe
you.
that's all of it. The way up should be clear.
Bye. Dương mà đâu lại
Heading
vậy?
back to the cage, are we? I guess Valhalla is giving you a second chance. Parties. Well, now it's a party.
Ủa mà cắt vô.
What are you planning to do this time, Kratos? Wait, no, don't tell me. The suspense is honestly the only thing keeping me awake back here.
Đưa rồi mà các bà ơi.
Here's a random thought for you. Maybe it only counts as a sacrifice if you give up someone you value. I think we all
Bắt mọt rồi. Ui, Cyclops.
never guess their weak spot.
Ơi chầm nói sao Cyclops ấy kìa. See point.
Here we are. Let's see what brilliant move you've thought of.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Kratos? Surely you're not supposed to. You know what? Never mind. I'd like to see this.
Cái này nó cái tầm mới giống bẹ ly. Cái thô bẹ ly luôn này.
Brother? Oh, where are we now?
Trời.
Here.
The invitation was yours.
Lượng ní thiên mèn tên này.
I would have signed it, but it was important you come here for your own reasons.
Then you're not an illusion.
You're in the flesh, old friend.
What do you want?
I know what you're wrestling with, Spartan. I understand it better than you realize. The shame. The doubt. The question I could find no answer for until I came here. Lifetimes ago. Stepped through that door.
What is in there?
I'm not here to spoil that for you. Only to help you prepare.
Why?
Because I can. Because for us, fighting occupies the body, while our minds work out the rest. Because you're not ready. Yet.
Tao lấy dương tay thật đầy cái này. Ô quay mùi thia cáp rồi đi.
Sorry, why exactly are you attacking us?
Consider it a kind of trial by combat, Mimir. When Kratos can get the better of me, we'll know whose mind has done the work.
Chết chốt của Mỹ là hôn chơi. Hai game clip chơi. Mày lên lần cạn game. Mà quay đã ai quá. Mà sẹt khao mà.
Sigrun, it's good to see you back.
Freya was just being cautious. I'm right as rain. How fares your journey?
We have uncovered our host. It is Tyr.
Tyr, you say?
Aye, and no projection either.
I never knew his connection to Valhalla was so strong. But then, he goes back further than I do.
Tao lấy tới một game đấy rồi.
Did Valhalla return you to your forest last time?
Aye, brother. And this time I wasn't alone.
Were you attacked?
No, far from it. Apparently my Valhalla isn't the stuff of constant combat at all. The memories of mine it draws on are more interpersonal. To wit, I found myself reliving old times with my former crew of fairy folk. Cobweb, mustard seed, the whole pack of ne'er-do-wells. Such warm greetings for their old ringleader, like nary a day had passed.
Sounds pleasant.
Rather was, to be honest. I remain suspicious, but if this process is doing something for you, I remain open to seeing what it has in mind for me.
Quả nó sẽ kia. Phải rồi đây. Chứ chắc mới chụp bánh mà. Oanh ngóp rồi. Anh Clyde mua à la rẻ nè.
We're dead! We're dead!
Air.
A gift. There is a secret weapon that turns challenges into triumph. And that is your ability to adapt. Would you care to hear more of my story?
Okay.
Speak.
If you remember, I had shunned my father's herbal medicine after it failed to save him. I left my village and moved to the city. I scraped and scrounged, managed to survive, and became an apprentice to a renowned mage healer. I soaked up everything I could from her, and I was a natural, it turns out. Shedding my father's legacy came easy. In fact, I'd acquired quite the distaste for it. I cut herbal medicine out of my life completely. It was this rigidness that would prove the biggest mistake of my life. But I'll stop there for now.
ហើយយើងទៅមកហ្គេមទៀតហើយយើងលេងឡើងវិញវាយើងធម្មតាហើយយើងមកកន្លែងច្បាក់ធំនឹងទៀត
I'm back! What a thrill! Oh, I meant to ask, how did you like setting yourself on fire? Truly entertaining stuff. Sorry to miss how it ended up. I think maybe you still have some ash on your skin. Am I crazy?
អត់ឆ្លើយមួយអត់ចង់និយាយអូ
Oh, I'm back,
យេ
brother.
មកវិញ
I hope your trip through Valhalla has been fruitful.
មក
And we're back to fighting.
Kratos will win this fight when he is ready for what lies beyond.
ដឹងក្បែរអស់
Come on! Well, I didn't catch you sleeping.
យេចេះ
Well done, Kratos. I yield.
Good then.
អាទិទេពនៃសង្គ្រាមប៉ះគ្នា
Perhaps you are ready now.
Am I?
Honestly, nobody can truly say that but you.
មានស្អីក្នុងទ្វារណា Blood, sweat and tear
I am not ready.
Yet. But we will get you there.
Kratos ហ៊ានប្រឈមមុខជាមួយនឹងអតីតកាលខ្លួនឯង
In the first place?
Yes. And look, I think Kratos may have survived that time.
So it's Tyr's game you're playing? This is all his idea?
A game is not his purpose. There is something here I must see through.
And what is that exactly?
Process.
All right. If it's helping, I trust you both.
We all do. As we trust in Valhalla.
Even after what it did to you.
I knew the rules and chose to break them. I regret nothing.
តើឥឡូវយើងទៅមកហ្គេមទៀតតាចេះស្អីគេ
I know this.
You remember this, Kratos. The memory is vivid. A familiar scene to any that know your legend. A man at the crossroads of a fateful decision.
Aye, you've spoken of this, brother. The pact you made with Ares to stave off the barbarian horde.
The day I sold my soul to a god of war.
លកតេតកាល
Why show me this?
Well, if I had to guess, probably to make you feel like the piece of shit you are.
Is he necessary?
He's no part of my design. He's either Valhalla's or yours.
At least he hasn't replaced me again. Not yet, anyway. Seems a real charmer.
Done.
A memory fragment of your time in Alfheim, then.
Half time.
Tell me,
Who was Kratos of Sparta the day you made your pledge to Ares?
I was the youngest captain in the Spartan army. I had gained a reputation for my skills in combat, my command on the battlefield, but also my aggression. I was determined to never lose, and until then, never had. My men were loyal, fiercely so.
How many Spartans did you command?
Not enough that day.
How many barbarians did you face?
Thousands.
Ba khả năng mà. Nhóc á. Tuy tục môn ban cái A. Cái chó mà. Biết được ấy cái là.
Well, this is an unusual little corner of Valhalla, isn't it? Shall we see what else we can find in here?
Ui,
I think
bay.
we're meant to choose one chest or
Ôi,
the
ôi, hơi
other.
được muối.
So we have a look.
Mẹ.
Before you ask, yes, I was back in the Old Forest again. And this time I encountered my former boss, King Oberon. Rather eye-opening, actually. I used to be a true believer for him. Would have done anything he asked. But now I see through all that charisma and feigned wisdom down to the small, hypocritical tyrant I know him to be. Until I tell you what he put me up to regarding a particular magical flower.
You wish to tell a story of your first master.
Aye. Seems to be the very story Valhalla has me reliving, in fact. Oberon fancied himself a romantic, you see. Always claimed that love was more important to him than anything. One time, he led his entire entourage on a journey to attend the wedding of some duke or other, near your old neck of the woods. The groom, this lordly prick, had conquered a warrior queen and was marrying her as part of terms for peace. And this somehow was so romantic to Oberon that he dragged us across the sea to pay respects. Never mind, he was quarrelling with his own queen the entire way. Well, I'll have more of that one, to be sure. As I was saying about my old master and his lofty so-called romantic ideals, we'd settled in a forest outside of Athens, a place well situated to observing the comings and goings of the Duke's other guests. There we observe the romantic complications of some local youths, and Oberon gets it into his head to intervene. Bids me fetch him a magical flower that can manipulate the affections of others. Supposedly, the idea was to nobly help true love prevail over the pressure of family arrangements. But what he really wanted was to use the flower to torment his own wife.
I see why you left his service.
Aye.
Mình biết sẽ bảo hưởng giấy biết. Trời. Dương thở phơ bằng cà phơ người vậy.
Hello again, Kratos. I must say, it's genuinely hard to think of anything stupider than pledging your soul to Ares of all people. I mean, any of Zeus's brood are bound to be garbage, present company by no means excluded. But Ares made a real art out of being vicious and depraved. Though, I suppose I can't begrudge you your role model. I see you still use the blades he gave you. Can you really say you regret a decision, and still keep benefiting from the trappings of that decision? I'm not sure, I'm just asking. You ever try to do the math on how many people died as a result of your little collaboration? Like contemplating the grains of sand on a beach, isn't it? Overwhelming, honestly.
Này Dương mà đó còn lại anh chị bạn thì
What is that?
kia đi từ đây.
Looks like someone left you a party favor. Oh, and it's a symbolic totem of your shame. That's so thoughtful. Ah, now you've done it. You're being judged. And we all know your past actions wouldn't pass muster with anybody.
Chứ lưu lấy nãy cái chiếu này.
Siren? Cover my
Siren.
ears! Kratos!
Thôi bỏ home. Cắp rồi đi.
Stay dead!
Tôi bánh mày.
Oh, hello, brother.
Thôi đâu ai
I'm
được.
back.
Good to see you again, Kratos. I brought something else to keep things interesting. You're not the only one with weapons from far off lands, you know.
Đá ấy kia. Đồ bót đôi nữa.
Here they come!
Thôi. Gì kia này. Chạy lượng này anh. Thôi. Anh chơi khó đấy. Controller trên off mode.
Those who have fallen, carry me!
Trời mà mẹ đồ các bạn ơi.
Why did you do it, Kratos? Why did you pledge yourself to Ares?
I was ambitious. Proud. I could not accept defeat.
Thế cái.
Crave power.
Is that all? Are you sure?
Thắng chiêm.
Nothing more to that story? Nothing else under the surface?
Thắng chiêm hai.
How many have seen that rage and lived to tell? Blood for blood. Growing
Ơi, anh bơm chơi mà. Ơi.
Is that?
Nhớ man sao rồi đấy.
One from my past.
Did it unlock something important?
Only a memory.
Seems Valhalla thinks you have a story to tell.
Later.
Brother, while I'd love to say I left Oberon's service as a matter of principle, the truth is it was much more a question of pride. If he'd simply shown me more appreciation, who knows how long I might have tolerated his evils. I certainly tolerated plenty from my subsequent employers before I could take no more. If I'm being honest, I was only too happy to offer my complicity in Queen Titania's humiliation.
What did you do?
I caused her to fall in love with something preposterous.
Your old master. He had you make his wife fall in love with another.
Aye, temporarily by use of this magic flower. Though now it's clear to me the flower's effect isn't love exactly, but a kind of obsessive devotion that is too often mistaken for love. So of course the Queen made a fool of herself, as did all those under the flower's spell that night. Don't know how I ever got embroiled in such a farce.
You are wiser now.
I think so. Though that only makes up for so much past stupidity.
Anh Tùng nắc khơi ơi, à bạc cạch luôn. Anh sao lớn chơi mê. Lương thằng na ơi.
Kratos, the key you found. Who was it? What was it unlocked?
It belonged to a boat captain I met during a battle on the Aegean Sea. His ship was part of a fleet under attack by a Hydra. The key unlocked his quarters, where I heard women screaming for help.
Ah, yes. The story of your fight with the three-headed sea serpent. You impaled one of its heads on the ship's mast, was it?
Gò đó vậy môi ạ.
But that battle is not why this key appeared. It is my killing of the boat captain for it that seems to follow me wherever I go.
Gò đó vậy mỗi ba cái bá mình bay nhiều lượt tục. Thế mà đó nó lên đâu có ba Helio à?
Guess you're not done with me yet,
À.
Kratos.
À một
Now,
món đó.
Kratos.
Thêm một cái em đấy rồi.
Greetings, friends. Any questions before you get started?
I was wondering, actually. Did Odin ever try his hand at Valhalla?
Of course. He explored it very thoroughly in seeking to gain control of the Valkyries. But in the end, he found nothing here he could use. You see, Odin always looked outside himself for answers. But Valhalla only reveals its secrets to those who do the work of looking within.
Sigrun has been important to you for as long as I have known you. What happened in the beginning?
Oh, it's a typical enough story. A boy meets a girl, girl fulfills her ambition to transcend the physical plane and become a Valkyrie of Valhalla. One day, Sigrun quietly arrived from Fjotorlund and began serving as Freya's handmaiden while she undertook training for the Sisterhood. I don't even think we were introduced. I'd just see her around the court. Of course, I'd observed her loveliness and impressive stature, but long before we fell to talking. But we seemed cut from different cloth, I suppose. Never occurred to me we'd get along as well as we did.
Chúng ta chỉ hướng snipe 2 bom mình mì nè, không đi là gì đây. À, tao độ đá nó chơi chạp. À chơi lấy ra đá rồi. À.
You, Sigrun. How was it you first spoke?
Back when Freya was queen in Asgard, the better times, I mean, there really began to be some culture around the place. Poets, musicians, the odd contortionist would pay visits, perform, mingle. On one occasion, I'd taken a seat expecting to see this balladeer of the lowlands, when Sigrun walked in. Somehow more stunning than I'd ever seen her. And when of all places she chose to sit next to me, well, a lot of very interesting things happened very quickly. But I may need to collect my thoughts while you get us killed again.
Chúng nó nó cất đây lên đã pha gió đang mau tiết đây. Ở bên ban phở quốc ba cất đọc snipe bánh hào nè. Vì ao dương đá hỏa hút nè. Bay hút hay đá hỏa. Đừng cho tự lẽ nát là. Xi mau kìa.
Let us get back to your memories of Sigrun. She sat beside you.
Yes, she chose to sit next to me. No big thing, really. Yet, somehow, despite myself, I felt her rush in my stomach like I was a green lad again. Embarrassing at the end of the day, to be so simple. I made some remark, and I learned how it felt to make her laugh. And suddenly I felt more at ease. Almost eerily so. A calm within each other's storms, I suppose.
They had a way of describing that. Peace dwells among us.
Lovely, brother. That's exactly right.
Nhớ đầm lại up mà nghe giấy những thời thôi cái sao.
Mimir, you may speak more of coming to know Sigrun.
Right. Where were we? After the ice was broken, we fell to talking more regularly, even making a point to do so. It was all I could do to enjoy our company responsibly, staying mindful of our respective positions and keep from crossing any line that would make things difficult for us to recover from.
Wise.
Well, mostly. I'm always wisest in the parts I let myself remember.
Cạch vô.
Kratos, about this boat captain. If you needed his key to save others, why did it seem to bother you so? Your actions in this case seem justified.
It was swallowed by the Hydra before I was able to kill it. When I entered its maw to retrieve it, The captain had somehow survived, dangling over a fall that would surely kill him. I saw the terror in his eyes as he fought to hold on, and relief when he believed I would save him. Instead, I took the key and dropped him to his death. And it was all for nothing. The women were dead by the time I reached them.
Quay mê rồi.
Oh, I'm back again. Still not used to that.
Kratos, you made it back. Yes, well done.
Mẹ sao chứ mà tao nói chai như này anh bờ mẹ này.
Shield mated.
Use this. Your ability to adapt is becoming your greatest weapon. I'll tell you the next part of my story now, if you'll listen.
I will hear.
Last thing I told you was that I'd become an apprentice to a mage healer of renown. I learned much from her, not just about the healing arts, but about how to live a complete life, a whole life, true to yourself. She was like a mother to me, which made it all the more painful when she too fell ill. It was the same illness that had taken my father. But this time would be different. It was my chance to apply everything she taught me to try and save her. Anyway, I think that's a good place to pause my story.
ហើយបន្ទាប់មកសាច់រឿងបន្តទៀតប្រហែលជាយប៉ហ្នឹងឈឺបន្ទាប់មកប្រហែលជាត្រូវការថ្នាំបុរាណដើម្បីព្យាបាលជំងឺហ្នឹងប៉ុន្តែវ៉លការីនេះគឺបោះបង់ចោលវិធីព្យាបាលថ្នាំបុរាណអញ្ចឹងតម្លៃអប់រំនៅក្នុងសាច់រឿងហ្នឹងគឺចំណេះដឹងទាំងអស់គឺមានប្រយោជន៍យើងអាចចាប់យករបស់ថ្មីបោះបង់របស់ចាស់ចោល
Mimir, what happened next with Sigrun?
She had introduced me as a good friend. And though I couldn't be entirely sure what she meant by it, for once I wasn't concerned with an outcome. Regarding Sigrun, I knew my answer was yes. The question itself seemed secondary.
You were not upset she called you friend.
Show me someone for whom friendship means lack of love, and I'll show you someone who wonders why their lovers never end up being worth their time.
Perhaps. But you did not express your feelings.
Oh, I don't think she could have escaped noticing. I just never asked her anything I felt sure she'd have to refuse.
Your relationship with Sigrun. Why so reluctant to tell her how you felt?
She was on the Valkyrie's path, preparing to transcend her corporeal form. That was her focus, her chosen purpose, and I didn't want to suggest myself as an obstacle. I suppose I let some part of myself imagine she might recognize my affection, even reciprocate it. But now that we know what she was running from, obviously she'd never again risk choosing love over duty. A unique, heartfelt friendship, that is what could endure, and that is what I chose to embrace.
Mimir, can you hear me? Has my voice broken through?
Sigrun? Yes! Hello! How are you talking to... How long have you been able
I
to
haven't
hear?
been listening to you. There's just something I needed to tell you. Valhalla is displeased with me. It wishes a penance of sorts. Trials to reforge my loyalty. I haven't decided what to do, but I hoped we could talk about it.
Aye, let's do. Next time we die, or Kratos gets a headache.
Dear, when you came here long ago, was it for this same decision?
Not exactly. I was already god of war when I began the process. I was having a crisis of sorts. Doubting my abilities, my resolve. Doubting I could live up to the way some saw me. I was thinking of walking away. But then I learned of this place. I knew I owed it to myself, and to the Nine Realms, to take the challenge. To look within, and find my truth.
Lucky thing. Without you keeping Odin in check as long as you did, I can only imagine how much worse things might have turned out.
Trời giấy cái bà cui Superman Ôi mà bà cui hồn lươn nha mẹ biên qua bồi cọp rồi.
Count it, Valhalla. Brother, you've told me many times of mortals you killed when in the god's service. What is it about this boat captain?
It would have cost me nothing to show him mercy. His life was in my hands. To be so casually cruel, This man did nothing to me, and I treated his life as nothing. He was not a god who would manipulate me nor bound me in service. I cannot hide my thirst for revenge. He was just a man afraid for his life, attacked and swallowed by a monster he had no hope of defeating. But the Hydra was just an animal.
Sorry, brother, but maybe we reserve our talks for safe spaces.
សរុបមកវិញសាច់រឿងនៅក្នុង mod ថ្មីនេះគឺពីប្រទេសសេរីរបស់ Kratos គេរំលឹកអតីតកាលមកវិញទាំងអស់រឿងរ៉ាវអាក្រក់ដែល Kratos ធ្វើ
Guna.
This boon is yours. Never doubted you'd get there. Ready for a little more of my life story?
Continue.
I was in the fight of my life with the thugs who burned down my father's inn. Suddenly there's this sound, this flapping of feathers, and who should appear but Sigrun herself. Not yet queen, but by reputation, the best fighter the Valkyries had in memory. I was awestruck. She was confused. The violence, the mayhem she sensed, she expected to follow to a battlefield full of honored dead, not a hideout in the slums. I apologized to her for not sending worthier souls to Valhalla, and Sigrun offered to take me under her very impressive wing. But we'll cover that part next time, all right?
តោះដល់ម៉ោងវាយមេចូល The Work Part 1 និង Part 2 ទៀតទេ
Made it back. Good.
មានប្រហែលក្បាច់អាធាហ្នឹងដូរអាវុធរហូតហ៎ហើយត្រូវទៀតម៉ែដើម្បីកង់ហ៎
Take it off, Kratos.
មេអង្កាទូខ្លួនណាទូខ្លួនណាទូខ្លួនណា
Well done. And you land another.
ចាំអញទូអស់ឡើង OP ហ្នឹងវាទេ
Is that time?
ទូអស់ឡើង OP ហ្នឹងលេងលែងងល់ឯប៉ុណ្្នឹង
I yield, Kratos.
Very well.
I believe you found an understanding within yourself. Shall we see?
Fools. It's not only memories.
Indeed. For what is a memory apart from our perspective on it? You know the evils that came of your path. You know the evils within yourself. Yes, these you dwell on. But it's not that simple, is it?
The Horde is vast, brother. What would have happened if you didn't stop it?
Our lands would have been overrun. Our people killed, violated.
People your army was sworn to protect. An army led by you. Did you not feel a duty to fulfill your purpose? Did you not fear for the safety of your homeland? You saved them.
You would excuse my actions.
Excusing them is not the exercise, Kratos. Only accepting them. Accepting that you acted based on what you knew then, not on what was to come. Your motivation and their consequences are far more complicated than you let yourself believe. I think perhaps you have more to process.
Yes. I have much to think about. I will return.
And I will be waiting.
ជប់សិនអញ្ចឹងធាមេចុងក្រោយអីចឹងឬក៏មានតទៀតតែឥឡូវយើងទៅមួយហ្គេមទៀតទៅមិនលេងឡើងកប់សេរីអាទូអងហើយឡើងខ្លាំង
Excellent. You're breaking free from conventions. Don't stop now. I can continue my story now.
I will hear.
If you'll remember, my teacher had fallen ill. Everything she taught me, I poured into trying to save her. But it turned out mage healing wasn't enough. I realized that only a combination of mage healing and herbal traditions could save her. But I'd let my knowledge of the herbal arts fade away. And so, I failed her like I failed him. And she passed into Hell's embrace. It took a long time to get over that. Anyway, I'll stop here for now.
Gunnar.
A gift. No experience is wasted when you learn from it. Don't you agree? Shall I continue my story?
I am listening.
Sigrun, mightiest of the Valkyries, saw me in action and thought I had potential. Wanted to train me in the ways of the sisterhood. But I wasn't so sure. A knack for violence is one thing, but serving a higher cause, taking on the responsibility of choosing the slain, me, Gunnar of Blackheart Alley? For once, I hesitated. I couldn't make myself believe it. But Sigrun told me to put everything out of my mind but the work. Mastering each new skill. Discovering what I was truly capable of through discipline and focus. Letting excellence be its own reward. Really opened my eyes. But we'll wrap it up next time, okay?
Sigrun, I wanted to tell you, Valhalla keeps sweeping me away to my own adventure in memory.
I wondered if it would. That's wonderful. What is it showing you?
Some particular events of my wayward youth. But they're in a loop of sorts. Not sure I've quite gleaned what it all amounts to.
Then you must do what you do in Valhalla. Keep going.
Say did I?
An infamous act. One they still spoke of in the years of rebuilding. I somehow doubted they meant it so literally.
I'll give you this, brother. Your technique has improved immeasurably.
I needed his power to secure my vengeance against the gods. I believed I had no choice.
No choice? You could have not ripped my head off my body. That was absolutely an option.
And he's back.
But that wasn't the worst of it, was it, Kratos? Killing you deprived Greece of the sun. They were plunged into perpetual cold and darkness. Crops ceased to grow. Famine descended on our homeland. Not that you cared.
Enough.
He is bitter, isn't he?
Đi tiếp này bự lư mẹ này. Slap chó đách kẻ tất bật.
I'm curious. Your decision to behead Helios, was it fueled by any personal motivations? Or was it really just a means to an end?
It was not personal. I did know him, long before I killed him. He was as insufferable as any god. But his death brought me no satisfaction.
Did you know what would happen as a result?
When Helios was captured by the god of dreams, the lands fell into darkness and were not restored until his return. I knew exactly what would happen.
Kratos, I hope you'll forgive me. But before you first found your way to me, you were grappling with the symbolism of your former seat of power. May I offer a perspective?
You may.
Before I became God of War, I felt as hesitant as you do. I feared that taking the throne would only validate Odin's power hierarchy, which even then I didn't doubt. But I decided I could wield a better influence on the inside than on the outside. There are many ways to lead, and not all of them involve ruling. The throne and the office are only what you bring to me.
Trời ơi, thay ạ. Xí kia. Trời. Túc chơi mà.
Hello! And lest we forget, Kratos, lest we neglect to place your deed in full and proper context, I saved your life. Me! And you literally tore off my head for my troubles. Imagine if all your new friends knew how you used to treat your old friends. Of course,
Friend.
you're not the same man, right? Now, you only get your friends killed through lack of foresight. Far easier to blame others that way, am I right?
I know you are a projection of the mind. But for what it is worth, the death I gave you wasn't just.
Oh, how touching. Yeah, not actually worth the spittle it took to mumble that out. Do not do that again. Nobody wants to hear that from you.
Mấy bạn cái gì mà chết ta vô Helio mà. Trời. À thì tiếp xây đi rồi. Poseidon này rồi.
A little something to remember me by. I truly hope it brings you unrelenting torment. Chills you just a little when they do that, doesn't it? Feels like judgment.
Tao phải mê rồi. Có bao nhiêu thế thì mê mà.
Well done, Kratos. I have another cherished weapon from my travels to show you. Ready to see?
Đâu vì đấy trên mình không có chuyện ở đây.
Wait. What good's a shield if you're not gonna use it?
M.Megamind bay với ạ. M.Megamind bay với.
Darkness come. Your curve.
Brother, get to the light!
Lên bạch học tiếp phong ấy.
Defend yourself. Good. Don't hold back. It's all in the wrist, you know.
Nè ơi.
Your curve.
There, brother, light!
Be ready.
Bye bye.
I yield. I yield.
Good then.
I don't think you were indifferent, Kratos. I think you were hurt. Deeply hurt. And you handled it unskillfully.
Wait, is that you restoring the sun? You took Helios's chariot and put the sun back in the sky, but sacrificed yourself in the process.
Yes. I fell to my death and was saved by Helios. But this memory happened before I killed him. My evils were yet to come. What is the point?
That your legacy has always been a complicated one. That goodness is not a destination we arrive at, but a practice. Misfortune may drive anyone to darkness. We resist it only through wisdom and vigilance. You are not so unskillful now as you were then. Better voices in your head, you might call it. I think that's enough for now. You have much to contemplate.
Yes.
Back to the beach then.
You should be proud of your progress, Kratos. See you soon.
Màn lướt tiếp bạn. Màn chop xa dữ mà. Chắc là anh Thuy ở bên nào bạn bác Thuy quá. Màn kém đây.
Whatever you're doing in there.
Perhaps.
Listen, I know I made you feel like we expected more of you than you could give. And I just want you to know, I'm not asking you to change how you are or who you are. We had to break the old world to build a new one. Picking up the pieces and putting them together stronger. It's a rare opportunity. You made a difference here. In some circles, a symbol of change. On many days, just knowing that you're a part of the Council is enough.
And other days?
You've earned a voice. How you use it is up to you.
Okay.
Sigrun, inside we encountered a son of Thor.
It wouldn't really be him in there, I can assure you. You have a memory of a past fight, and I'm sure Valhalla takes advantage.
But why him?
I don't think that's for me to say.
Well, something for us to ponder in between melees.
Well done, General.
Shield made it.
Use this. You're breaking free from conventions. Don't stop now. I'd like to finish my story for you.
Chop ấy.
Proceed.
As you recall, I failed my teacher and wasn't able to save her life. I'd let my aversion to my father's traditions stop me from being able to adapt to circumstances. After that, I spent many winters reconstructing his teachings, integrating them into my arsenal. I realized how important it was for me to practice techniques that don't come easy to me, or even ones I have every reason to hate and reject. Because then I'm armed for everything. Then I can adapt to whatever life throws at me. Anyway, that's my story.
Thank you, Air. I understand.
Kìa sao đầm lại áo rôm mà xa dường kia.
Use this. Yes, keep daring to chase what others think is impossible. How about we finish up my story?
Go on.
Last time I was telling you how Sigrun helped me harness my anger and hone my skills. Training with her and my other future sisters, I never felt so challenged. Never felt such belonging. But part of me still couldn't believe I deserved to be there. All that community and purpose and meaning could be mine. If only I could master the one enemy I was afraid to face.
Yourself.
Damn right. I had to stop telling myself the story of all I could never be because of where I came from. When I focused instead on my intentions and my preparation, that's when I truly mastered myself. But I'm not telling you anything you don't know. And it's not as though there weren't more trials ahead, more to overcome and master. My point is, I get why you're doing this, and I truly wish you luck.
Thank you, Gunnar.
Ui, cái áo sợ OGB. Chả vào là nó kê thó men con của bật mũi được hàng này chứ kèo. No. Athena?
A substitute daughter. A box full of evils.
Oh mẹ nó,
This
Pandora.
feels important.
This is your blacksmith story, isn't it? His girl was the key, and he died protecting her?
Protecting her from me. I opened that box seeking the means to kill Ares,
ក្នុងវគ្គ1នេះ
and what I released.
Pretty much turned all the gods crazy. Thanks again for that.
Quiet head.
Unfortunate. The time I spend in my own Valhalla means you get more time with him.
ក្នុងវគ្គ1 Kratos មិនដែលឆ្លងវាខ្សាច់ទៅដល់ប្រាសាទមួយលើកំពូលនៅលើខ្នងយក្សដើម្បីបើកប្រអប់ Pandora.
Kratos, how well did you know the blacksmith's daughter?
Pandora. She reminded me of my own daughter, who I lost long ago.
I'm sorry, Kratos. Even at your most vengeful, you must not have wanted to see harm come to her.
Pandora was innocent. The way she saw things, she could reach me when few could. She deserved better than to be a pawn, sacrificed in a game of gods.
Your regret is palpable. But thank you for letting yourself remember. That is important.
Ready to move to the next space, brother? Should be clear.
Dear, earlier you spoke to me as though I seek to lead, as if I were someone to be followed.
Your self-criticism, valid and otherwise, seem well reflected here in Valhalla. It's no accident that your mind manifested that throne. It's more than a symbol. It's a challenge to revisit your assumptions. Mimir is right. You have the power, and I think the wisdom, to redefine what it means to you. To assert that power is to prove to yourself that the chair doesn't change you, doesn't make you a new person. Not if you know who you are, why you serve.
ទៀតអាហ្នឹងទៀត
There's the other one.
Thật vô ơi à.
Surprise, you hulking brute! All your righteous haranguing about how evil the gods are, and you somehow gloss over that little extra nudge you gave them.
Opening the box was Athena's plan. I did not know the consequences.
Who would claim ignorance of the consequences of trusting Athena? Is that your idea of a joke, Kratos? Because I admit it's hilarious. But let's be real, Kratos. Whether you should have suspected the consequences or not, you certainly can't claim that you would have cared about them. You wanted the power to kill Ares. And because you wanted it, everything is justified. That's your moral code at the end of the day, isn't it? To imagine you once again holding an office of solemn metaphysical responsibility. A trusted figure. A worshipped figure. The absolute gall of you to let yourself consider such a thing. This irony can have you when it earns you something.
The more
Trời, mong vô cầm cái này
I
như-
revisit my misadventures with Oberon, the more like a dream it all seems. Which is ironic. Back then in my youth, I could hardly bear to sleep. Then, with time, I came to value a proper night's rest. In captivity, it was nearly the only escape I knew. And then the need to sleep went away completely. And I don't miss the time lost. But damn it, brother, I do miss dreaming. The mind comes to terms with itself in ways only possible with your waking judgment out of the way. Our hidden desires, our anxieties. Like a bifrost window to what's going on in your soul.
And Valhalla does the same.
Aye. And I don't...
I think I know why I fight Thor's sons.
Do tell.
Like Atreus, they were children of a destroyer. Had I not changed, had I raised him as I was raised, subject only to authority, perhaps his fate would have been no better than theirs.
So, they reflect a bad road not taken? A fate avoided?
Perhaps. I also feel pity. Failed by their father, sent to die by their uncle and belittled in death by their grandfather. What chance did they ever have?
Am I hearing guilt, brother?
Some. Perhaps imagining a fair fight is to honor them as life did not.
Mimir, I've been thinking a lot about the costs and risks of what Valhalla would put me through to affirm my loyalty. It's enough to make me question not my love of this place, but is it really what's most important to me? If I can't answer that, then perhaps I am not ready for such a decision.
Then you should take all the time you need. Absolutely. If Valhalla isn't what you truly need, then you have a rare opportunity to reassess your priorities.
I'm glad you agree.
Trời đấy, không có đâu mà mua đấy. Cái lấy việc sạch từ vô. Từ vô này open đâu ra hả? Ôi!
No lost souls to be found in this desert. Just a bunch of kill-thirsty reprobates you can't seem to get out of your mind.
Mày tôi on OP nè ơi. Game lên vô đó easy mode đấy nè. Không đá cầm đất bả lên đó. Đó có sao lôi mà mở nè. À, vậy đất mê mùi. Trời nó gì kia? Avatar.
Well done, Kratos. I have one last weapon to show you.
Ok, bot cho cậu
I
ấy.
think you'll enjoy it, if that's the word.
Thôi samurai. Mê chiêm vỏ kill. Superman. Phải chơi ma mê là khăn. Chiêm vỏ kill á. Tranh rồi. Mẹ. Ok, mê khăn man.
Mimir, I had a thought. What you said to me, that you didn't think you could give me what I needed. I've been trying to figure out why you say it. I know you don't say things without a reason, even if you don't know what it is at first. But I think I figured it out. It's not that there is anything lacking in you. It's that in the end, nobody can give me everything I need to be happy. Not even Valhalla. It's something I have to give myself. And to do that,
You need to find yourself. It's true. And we're saying that's what I meant all along? Clever, huh?
Anh cúp tổng wop mà bằng cách. Sao lớn thằng mẹ này.
Mimir, the day my family died was not the last time I saw Calliope. I had journeyed to the underworld to rescue Helios. When I arrived, I heard Calliope's song on the wind and found her in the fields of Elysium. It had been long since I felt such joy. But it was another trick of the gods.
It wasn't her.
Worse. It was. The goddess of the underworld wished to destroy all of creation, Elysium included. She knew that for me to stand against her meant leaving Calliope behind forever. So, I pushed my daughter away again, all while she cried and begged me not to.
Even a short-term advantage could pay off.
Đó. Vậy cái này mới avatar.
Only you can defeat you,
Thôi
Kratos.
mà.
Calliope's flute.
Whenever you're ready, brother. Take your time.
I'm sure you can see it. Valhalla has a way of making you learn what you need to learn. Perhaps it does so with me, even now, making such demands so as to give me doubts. Long ago, I gave myself completely to love, and it destroyed my home and family. Then I threw myself into the service of Valhalla and found a new family in this. But what if that's not where my story ends? It's time I finally found my path. Not because it may or may not be Valhalla's will, or Freya's, or yours, my dear, but my own.
Brother, the choice you were given? Stay in Elysium with your daughter only to perish? Sounds like no choice at all.
Of course it was a choice. One I wished many times I made differently.
How so?
When I left Greece, Calliope was never far from my mind. I do not know how much time we would have had together in Elysium, but I would have traded the decades that followed for mere hours with her. It took meeting Faye for that feeling to go away, along with Calliope's song. But I do still think of her in Elysium, and hope she found peace.
Tao vậy mê rồi. Nè được chó bà. Vì thế chết nhỉ, cái bạch bên miệng bắn à. Thở anh tia đã.
Outstanding technique.
Mê váy cái bên thở là mê được anh. Mà hai con trai mà toát một váy.
Come on. Don't get distracted. Umhuxen.
Cái đó bốn.
Wait for it.
Đánh ba rồi.
Umhuxen.
Ô, về lên đồ của anh vào rồi.
You'll learn.
Phải chơi má ơi, đồ của này nè.
You found the pendant of a necklace.
Bán dưới kia.
I will tell you the pendant story soon.
Tao không sao.
I've come to a decision. At least for the time being, I'm going to step back from the price Valhalla has asked of me.
Good for you, Seaton.
I think maybe it's time I traveled. Experience these realms and the lands beyond, not as Valhalla's emissary, but as a person.
That's perfect. You've always dreamed of a grand sea voyage, seeing the world. Perhaps I could go with you. I've been told I'm a useful guide.
Perhaps. But let's not distract Kratos further.
Trời nhai cái đi rồi đó, bơm ra mày.
The pendant you found, brother. Do you recognize it? Does it have some significance?
Yes, it belonged to my wife.
Bỏ vốn.
It was Faye's.
No, my first wife, Lysandra.
Ah, I see. You know, brother, you told me a great deal about your daughter, Calliope. But her mother is a bit of a mystery.
My thoughts on her are complicated. But she was a good woman, and I loved her more than she knew. She saw in me possibilities I could not at the time. In that way, she and Faye were much alike.
អើយមេតប៉ែចុយម៉ែញញ៉ាដំណាក់ការបង្កើតកូនចៅនឹងមកស្អប់មែនណា
I'm having a bit of a sinking feeling that Seagram doesn't want me traveling with her.
You knew that before you asked.
Did our brother?
You know the journey she seeks. It is the one you took, and I took. The kind that brings you to the tests you need. The kind you take alone.
It's true. I gave in to her weakness. Even now, there's some part of me that just wants to tell her how much I love her and beg her to stay. But that's bloody selfish. I need to do better than that.
Kratos, I've been awaiting your return.
Defend yourself. Hookson.
អើយជាប់តកឯណាធុញចុយម៉ែ
Don't get distracted. Hookson. Don't get distracted. Hookson. Arms up. Don't get distracted. There's the fire. Good, Kratos. Hookson. Focus, Kratos. Don't get distracted. Hookson. Focus, Kratos. Be ready. Hookson. Don't get distracted. Hookson, on your guard. Now you're hiding. Watch your head. Hookson, on your guard.
យេម៉ែsao chứ mà tao nó quay một ngày được bỏng quá mà
Stop, Kratos.
má quay một ngày được bỏng quá
Hard fought.
Let's see what your mind has worked out. When the evils of the box were purged, what remained was hope, which you chose to release back to the world.
Yes. After everything, you came back full circle to sacrificing yourself.
My death would have been just, but it was not to be.
Yes, you lived, and hope still lived inside you, from that day to this one. One might say you brought hope back to these realms after a long slumber. Box or no box, Kratos. Hope and fear and love and hate exist in every one of us. The question is, which will you choose to let guide your actions? Each choice we make shapes our world.
I see the truth of it.
And
I believe I am ready to walk through that door.
Excellent.
À, cho thuê nè. Mai là hot. Ôi.
What can I say to you? I remember how it felt to take that throne. All that it meant. And all that it did not. A god of war. God of pain. Of suffering. Of destruction. And no one said I chase redemption that I know I can never deserve. What does that make me? God of fools. A god of... hope. When all else is lost. You lost everything. And everyone. You became... There is no forgiving you. You chose! I chose. But now... should I, this same man, should I sit, take, proclaim, lead, place myself in service? In service? Should I lose everything and everyone? There's to be enough left inside so that I do not become you. I do not know. But I have hope. You are cruel and arrogant and selfish. But you are more than that. You have always been more than what others saw. You are more than that.
Well, looks like I missed everything.
Kratos mình hùng
Find
clear.
what you needed. Glad to hear it, brother. We're done here then, so, what now?
Now, I believe I would like to sit here for a while.
Chà. Director 2 nè, còn là DLC đó nghe. Hay game đại lên free à. Cha mà. Chẳng trong khỏi Ragnarok ảo nó đạp xong phim tờ viên đó hiệp tọa mà trong DLC này Kratos hiên bật chôm mục chùm vui nó ngặt tây tờ ca luôn anh lôi mà DLC vô thia mau với một trong game đám thia bên mục mà đang phít nếu trong game đám thia cứ Odin lắm luôn thằng dương man khơi mục thia mà tên là nơi cái tôi game mình tích cái team pot man khơi thia bắt bạc mà quay sai rồi chẳng có đâu Ragnarok nhưng cơ đạp hay chọc thầm năng ấy nhưng mà cái ra cái thơ DLC mà thay em đấy cái chăm mơ cái lô phèm cho năm tới mục đích cái lô cái tranh game khối xong say game khối lên đa tu bảo ôn mà rồi giờ đa tranh vô bên món God of Hope thì tên này cái đây dừng khầm yeah cho nó bên mà
Well done, Gerald. I had no doubt you would see this through to the end.
Congratulations. I hope Valhalla gave you everything you needed.
Look who's returning from the front gate, folks. Something must have happened in there.
I take it this is a good sign.
I will join you. I will try to be what the people need.
Good. I'm very pleased to hear that. And that you found what you needed here.
I could not have done so without my friends. I am grateful.
Valhalla is at your disposal, Kratos. If you have more you wish to work out, now or later, we will heed the call.
Start another temporary. Vậy đó. Game miễn vẹn một timeទៀតចឹងលេងទៅម្លឹកការចងចាំមួយ time ទៀតចឹងអញ្ចឹងគឺយើងមានប៉ុណ្ណឹងចាប់អស់ហើយ Ragnarok ជួបគ្នាវីដេអូក្រោយបាយ